Hi loves, and welcome back to Unicorn Fairy Glam. Today I'm going to be doing another decluttering video. I hope you guys will like this one. As you can see, I have my base jar opened up over here and it is extremely messy. So this is going to go pretty quick because this is a deep drawer. I'm just going to briefly touch on everything. If you want to see a collection video, let me know. But before we get into everything, please subscribe. It really helps me out. I'm trying to reach 1,000 so that I can stay a YouTube partner. So if you could hit that subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up. All right, so let's get into it. So the first thing I'm going to go over is facial sprays. I have the Mario Badescu Rose Water Spray. This is a cult classic. Comes in a giant bottle. It's not that expensive. It's really hydrating. I highly recommend it for just like skincare reasons, as well as like it helps to set makeup, very similar to how Fix Plus works. This, however, is not Fix Plus. This is actually a decanted bottle of the Cover FX illuminating spray. The bottle messed up on me and I put it in here, and now that it's in here, it sprays out the glitter even worse. So I don't know what to do with it, but it's too expensive of an item for me to just like be like, oh well, whatever, bye, throw it away. And I got in a BoxyCharm, so it's not like I can return it or something like that. But I'm gonna hold on to it and see what happens. Next, I do have a bottle of Fix Plus. I love this stuff. I've been using it nonstop for the last like 3 years. Same thing with Urban Decay All Nighter. Definitely my favorite setting spray. I just have a teeny bit left in there, so I'm gonna hold on to it and try and use it up. And then I'm gonna go buy another bottle, most likely. Next, I have this Milani Make It Last spray. This is a really good drugstore option if you're ever in a pinch for a setting spray. I do like this better than the Wet n Wild one, but I've heard that this has a higher content of alcohol in it than other setting sprays, so it can be really drying. And to be honest, if you look at the price, I think it's usually like $12 or so. And the ounceages and everything like that actually ends up being like about the same price as the more expensive ones, but because it's smaller, you're buying less at a time, so that's why it's cheaper. Just a little tidbit. Next, we have my favorite setting powder, the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder. Ulta had a sale, and so I stocked up last year. Then I have a whole bunch of powders that I'm going to be holding on to. I don't have, like, in my opinion, I feel like I don't have too many powders, and all of my powders have they all have different purposes, okay, you guys? Like the RCA, I don't really use it. RCMA. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm tired. This Naked one, I ended up, not decanting it, but throwing out what was in it because it just didn't work out for me, and I ended up using it for a broken pigment compact. But so most of my powders I'm keeping. This is a foundation powder. This is in a darker shade, and I actually like to use this for bronzing up my face. Or like if I accidentally use a foundation that's way too light, I'll use it to warm up my face in general to try and, make it work. These are a bunch of powders I'm actually going to be passing along. The It Cosmetics one I've had for forever, and I think I'm going to show you guys a better shot of it in a minute. But it has like these bubblies on the top of it, and it doesn't match me, so I'm definitely tossing that one because I'd had it for more than 3 years. I'm trying to show you that this Stay Matte powder, I have a lot of really fine lines. It's just how my skin is, even on my hands, even on my arms. I have a lot of really teeny lines. Maybe I'm just human and everyone has that, but so with that powder especially, like, I want to just use it as a touch-up powder, but it ends up making me look more worn when I put it on. Then I have this Wet n Wild powder, which I really like, but it's just a little bit too light for me, so I'm going to pass it along to someone. I have this Essence powder that I put in there, but I actually ended up keeping. Then I have foundation. So we have the Dewy Fit Me foundation, and then the Fit Me Smooth powder, matte powder. Holding on to both of those, have not used either well enough to know if I should keep it or throw it away. I really need to force myself to use it. Then I'm going to be actually just tossing this It Cosmetics one. This is a CC cream, and it's in the shade Tan. I had a bottle of medium and I loved it, but that one's just too dark. And I've tried to pass it along to 2 separate people, and it always finds its way back to me. Then that's the Kat Von D Lock-It foundation. That's one of the ones that like everyone was raving about like 2 years ago. So I picked it up, but it doesn't work out for me at all. So yeah. Then I have these guys. One of those was actually fairly empty, so I went ahead and tossed it. These two I like to keep for the summertime and like days when I just want minimal makeup. This provides a very sheer skin tint. I like to mix the two shades because there's not quite a shade for me. And it has an SPF of 50 and it's very lightweight and it will wear throughout the day. So it's really an amazing little product, and it's organic, natural, better for you, all that good stuff. Then I have this Dior Forever Skin foundation. I really like this. I think it's a little too light for me, but I'm holding on to it anyway. I really like using it for when I'm like filming or taking pictures for Instagram because it's very pore perfecting. Then I have two of my recent foundation purchases. This is the Fenty Beauty Foundation and then the Becca Aqua Luminous. I actually ended up taking these both back for completely opposite reasons. So the Becca one, I really love the way it makes me look for the first 4 hours. It makes me look beautiful and luminous. But then after 4 or 5 hours, it starts to like kind of separate and sink into my pores and lines and wear off. But it also gets, like, it doesn't get too dewy, but like that's just what happens. So I ended up returning that. And then the Fenty one, which you guys are probably wondering about, I am dry combination. So it looked really beautiful when I would first put it on, but afterwards, like lunchtime would pass, I just started looking really cakey and crepey. And so for me, it's not a good foundation. But if you have like combination skin, normal skin, oily skin, highly recommend that foundation because it has such a beautiful finish. I wish it worked for me. Then I'm skipping over all of these things, but I wanted to tell you guys what I thought about the Fenty because I ended up returning it. The Tarte Shape Tape was 1.5 years old and almost empty, so I threw it out. Then the Becca concealer is, it's super empty, but I like to use it when my eyes are super dry, so I'm holding on to it. And these Fit Me concealers, 2 of them were actually really stinky and expired, so I threw them out, kept one. Then I had this Bare Minerals Bare Pro. I actually really like using this as a lightweight foundation. It feels very natural, gives a very beautiful luminous finish. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I enjoy it. Not for like a beat face kind of thing, which I think is the trend right now, and that's why a lot of people don't like it. But for every day, it's a really good foundation, the Bare Pro. Now this is the LA Girl HD or Pro, something like that. You guys have seen this foundation around. It oxidizes like crazy on me, so I'm passing both of those along. Then I have the Hourglass Vanish Stick. This is still a little bit too light for me. I actually got this as an Ipsy Point Perk, so I ordered like the way too light shade for me, and I've been trying for the last 2 years to make it work because I want it to work, but it's like an expensive foundation, so I should really just go buy a new shade, but then it doesn't work. But I'm holding on to it because it's expensive, and one day I'll find a way to use it. Then I have this Pacifica little CC cream that I've actually had for like, I think 1.5 years. I could still use it, but it actually really oxidizes on me and it ends up making me look really greasy, and I'm not a fan of the scent. So I went ahead and just tossed that. This Nivea Men's Shave Balm I'm also tossing. That has been in my collection since the craze for it happened like 3 years ago. Do you guys remember that? When Nikki Tutorials told the story about using the Nivea Men's Shave Balm, and then everyone was using it. There were a million videos for it. It actually really works well, and I might pick up another bottle. It's super cheap. You get a giant bottle for like $5. The NYX Cover Control Drops, I ended up passing along. I know a lot of people like them, but when it comes to watery foundations, like I mentioned, I have really fine lines in my skin, and it just sinks in no matter what I do, no matter what primer I use, so I had to pass that one off. These are my 2 favorite drugstore foundations, and they're brand new bottles, so I'm not super brand new, but like fairly new in the last 6 months, so I'm holding on to both of those. Then we have the Derma Blend. I'm holding on to it, just got it. It was from Influencer. Then I had the number 7 Illuminate and Lift. I picked this up like on a whim when I was like going to my parents' house or something, and for some reason I felt like I needed, like I was like, oh, you brought all your makeup but you forgot foundation, and so I stopped and I got it. Or no, I don't know where I bought it, but I bought it and I've only worn it once and I need to wear it more. Same thing with that Fit Me foundation. Like, I wore it once, I haven't touched it since. I really need to force myself to try some of these other foundations, but I just like try a foundation like this next one, the Cover FX Natural Finish Foundation, and I fall in love and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is all I want to use. And I'll use the same foundation for like a month or two. And then like I'll be like, oh no, like this isn't working for me, so I'll switch it up. But then like I'll find what I like and I'll stick with that. So this Cover FX foundation is one of my favorites, especially if you have dry or combination dry skin. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. And then we have the Makeup Forever one. I'm holding on to that. I've gone through like 3 bottles of this. This is another amazing foundation. So definitely gonna hold on to that one. I should really do a collection video and show you guys like my favorite foundations. If you would be interested in that, thumbs up this video or comment down below and let me know if you'd like to see. I mean, do people like seeing not famous YouTubers' favorite foundations? Yes, maybe, I don't know. Let me know. Then that was the Naked Skin. It's a wrong shade for me, so I passed it along. We have an empty bottle of brush cleaner, a broken compact. Both of those are going to be just tossed. I know there's ways to fix it, but for, you know, I could fix it, but I'm not going to. Please don't hate me and don't call the police. Then I have a bunch of concealers. Those 2 little mini ones I'm passing along because one's too light, one's too dark. The Makeup Forever HD concealer I'm going to hold on to. I really need to get myself to like commit to a concealer. You know how I like told you guys like I'll work through a foundation before I move on to the next one, or at least spend a significant amount of time on it. Every 2 or 3 days I'm reaching for a different concealer in my drawer, and so that's why I have so many. But then I'm like, none of them really work. But I actually think I just found one that I really like. But anyways, here is the Naked Skin concealer. This is one of my favorite concealers. The Fit Me and this one are my favorites, and the Becca Aqua Luminous concealer. This one is on its last leg. It's almost empty, but I'm gonna keep holding on to it because I like to mix it with other concealers to add more coverage and a little bit extra hydration. This is the Catrice Cosmetics Camouflage Concealer. If you are fair or light, you should definitely check this out. Unfortunately, their shade selection is Doggy Poo Poo and they only have 2 shades, but if you can, it's a really good concealer. Hopefully they'll extend their line in the future. Then I think I'm showing you guys that I have a bunch of other things I'm not going to quite talk about. We have the NYX Cream Contour Kit, which I ended up tossing that. It's a few years old and it breaks me out. Not a few years, like a year and a half or so, but it breaks me out and I use my fingers when it comes to cream contouring, as you can see as I'm rubbing my grubby fingers into that Cover FX palette that I kept, by the way, and I kept my Anastasia one, and I have 3 Smashbox primers that I don't really use, so I'm going to hold on to one, pass 2 along. Okay guys, so I know I didn't show you everything in my collection, but we definitely narrowed it down. I didn't really count how many I got rid of or whatever. We're just going to take a look at what this drawer looks like at the end. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe. Like I said before, it really does help me out. I really enjoyed filming this video with you guys, and it really motivates me to keep my collection nice and neat. So please give this video a thumbs up and let me know what declutter would you guys like to see next time. I think I have brushes left, blushes and bronzers, and I also have eye pigments, but I'm not sure if I'm going to, like, those last forever. I don't know that I actually want to declutter any of those, but I could show you guys my collection. Well, let me know what you guys want to see, and don't forget, I'm not going to say it again, don't forget to have an amazing day, because you deserve an amazing day. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.